Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season, and I thought I'd come and share one more holiday card project before Christmas is over and the new year is upon us, and I'm going to be using my MISTI. This by far is my favorite tool of 2017. It is not new this year, but it is something that I really enjoy using from year to year. So I have the mini MISTI here along with the original MISTI. I just wanted to kind of give you a little size comparison here. This is an A2 size card front. That's a standard kind of card size that card makers use. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can see when I place that in the mini MISTI, it doesn't have a lot of room to overlap. I like to use my mini MISTI for like small sentiments on the front of my card and that sort of thing. This is the original size MISTI, and you can see when I put my card front in here, I have a lot of room around the edge. That gives me a little bit of flexibility to kind of stamp off of the edge of the card front and that sort of thing. And so if I had to choose just one, I love them both, but if I had to choose just one, it would probably be the original MISTI. Now for today's card projects, I'm going to be using some stamps from Right at Home. I love these beautiful sentiment stamp sets. And I'm also going to be using this watercolor stripe background stamp. And I wanted to show you how to use a rubber cling mount stamp in your MISTI. So this is a rubber cling mount stamp. You can see it's made of red rubber and it has this foam piece. And it will stick to a regular, like large size acrylic block. But you can also use it in your MISTI. But in order to do that, you need to take out this little black piece. Now, this is the base of my MISTI, and the black piece hides kind of behind this piece of grid paper that I keep in my MISTI to protect that black foam. So I'm going to take that black piece out, and I'm going to put a piece of scratch paper in. Now, if the ink were to get on the base of the MISTI, I could clean that off, but I prefer not to have to do that. So I go ahead and keep a piece of this grid paper in there. And I am going to mount my cling stamp onto the door of my MISTI. So I just positioned it into my MISTI and closed the door right over it, and that picked up that cling mount stamp. Now you can use the MISTI with both the cling mount and the clear stamps. So I'm going to show you both of those today. And you can see I've inked up my stamp here in this Altenew limestone ink, and I stamped it down onto an A2 size card front. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp a few of these because I'm making a few different cards today. Now the beautiful thing is if I don't get it stamped right the first time, I can definitely stamp it again as long as I leave that paper in place. Now for my floral images today, I'm going to be using this stamp set. This is the Holiday Bouquet stamp set from Avery Elle. I just thought these were some really beautiful floral images. I am going to show you a card at the end of this video featuring something that's a little more cutesy but uses the same elements. But for now, I just wanted to show you another way I really like to use my MISTI. I think it's very helpful for stamping backgrounds, but when I'm going to color with Copic markers, I like a nice dark black line. So I like to double stamp my images. The MISTI makes that really easy because I can just leave my paper in place and re-stamp. Now for these images today, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink because it's a Copic friendly ink. And I've gone ahead and colored several of these off camera. I kind of took them with me. And I will have the Copic marker colors listed over at my blog, so be sure to check that out. So I have kind of a pink themed one, a white themed, and a traditional red themed one. And I'm going to use the coordinating die cuts to run that through my Sizzix Big Shot and cut those out. And you can see the smaller flower layers perfectly onto that bunch. So you can add a little dimension to this floral kind of grouping here, which I really love. Now, while I'm doing my die cutting, I went ahead and die cut several of these vellum circles. This is a pierced circle and some Essentials by Ellen Vellum. And I'm going to be using this beautiful thank you sentiment from the Right at Home stamp set. This is a linear sentiment, but I wanted to use it stacked. So I went ahead and cut it right down the center so I could cut those words apart and use it stacked. Now I'm stamping it onto the circles using some VersaMark ink, and I did prep those with a powder tool. And I coated it with some liquid platinum embossing powder from Ranger, and look how beautiful this embossing powder is. I thought about using gold, and I thought, no, I'm going to try something different. And sometimes I forget that I have all of these beautiful embossing powders in my drawer, so I need to dig a little bit more often and pull these out because it is really a beautiful finish, and it looks so beautiful with those gray stripes. So I'm going ahead and mounting up these floral images with some foam adhesive. I adhered the smaller flower on top of that grouping to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I adhered the entire grouping onto the circle using some foam adhesive as well. And I decided to make one that wasn't thank you, so I used this Peace, Love, and Joy sentiment from another Write at Home stamp set. And I embossed that in the same liquid platinum embossing powder, and I attached this beautiful grouping of white poinsettias here. Now, that just gave me a different look. I don't know if all of you are still in the holiday making kind of gear. So I have a holiday one here, but I also made the thank you version because I just think that it's kind of time to make all those thank you cards for the gifts that we've received over the holiday season. So I just thought this one might be a good idea for you. To finish off the card, I just added a little strip of black cardstock onto my card front there, and I attached my circle and that whole grouping using some foam adhesive, and I'm adding a little bit of some sparkle with some sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. Now, if you don't want to do like formal elegance, I'm going to use almost the exact same elements here. I'm using the same sentiment, but I'm using a different little colored bird here. This is from a honeybee stamp set. And you can see the layout, the background, all of that's the same, but I just added a little bit of change up in the pattern papers and the stamped and colored image, and it changes the look of this card completely, but it doesn't have, you know, a ton of different supplies. It's just a little strip of pattern paper and one more colored stamp there. So I think that's a great way to kind of change it up if you want something not quite so elegant and formal feeling, but maybe a little something kind of cute for the winter months ahead. Here's a look at all of the completed card projects from today. I think this bird is so adorable and pairs beautifully with that stamped sentiment from Write at Home Stamps. And here is a look at the poinsettia cards. I think these are so beautiful and elegant using that liquid platinum embossing powder and those beautiful floral images. And I love the way that you can use kind of the same layout, the same supplies, and change up just little pieces to really change the feel of a card. So I think there's a little something for everyone in today's video tutorial. As always, I will have links to the featured products in the description at YouTube, but head on over to my blog because I'll have more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies over there, as well as some information on the Advent blog hop that this video is a part of. It's kind of a blog hop with a twist, and it's put on by Tahira. I'm so honored to be a part of it. As always, thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these projects. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification button so you won't miss any of my card making video tutorials. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.